I kind of gave up on school.
Right.
I kind of gave up on school. I kind of gave up on everything that I had to my old life and just put everything onto my stream. I streamed every day. I didn't care about nothing else but YouTube, streaming.
One moment can change everything. A scream, a stunt, a viral clip that echoes across the internet. For Darren Watkins Jr., that moment came not once, but over and over again, each one pulling him deeper into the chaotic, unforgiving world of internet fame. In 2016, a teenager in Cincinnati sat alone in his bedroom, camera aimed at his face, microphone barely functional, streaming to an audience of virtually no one. He had nothing but energy, desperation, and an unfiltered willingness to be himself in front of strangers. Most would have quit. Most would have accepted obscurity. But Darren Watkins Jr., who would soon be known to millions as IShowSpeed, didn't know how to quit. He didn't know how to tone it down, and in a digital landscape starving for authenticity, that became his greatest weapon. What followed wasn't just a career, it was an explosion, a phenomenon that would redefine what it means to be a content creator in the modern age, blurring the line between entertainment and spectacle, between personality and performance, between success and self-destruction. If you're here for the story behind the screams, the controversies, and the meteoric rise, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment on what you think about Speed's journey. The early years were a grind most creators never escape. IShowSpeed spent countless hours streaming to empty rooms, playing games like NBA 2K and Fortnite with a rawness that was both captivating and chaotic. He wasn't polished, he wasn't strategic, he was loud, emotional, and utterly unpredictable. Where other streamers calculated their every move, Speed simply reacted, screaming at losses, celebrating wins with his entire body, raging at trolls with an intensity that felt almost dangerous. It was messy, it was uncomfortable, and slowly people started watching. By 2021, the algorithm began to favor him. Clips of his most explosive moments spread across TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube Shorts like wildfire. A scream during a horror game, a meltdown over a missed shot, a bizarre, unscripted rant that left viewers unsure whether to laugh or be concerned. Each clip was a gateway, pulling in millions who had never heard of him but couldn't look away. His subscriber count skyrocketed from thousands to millions in a matter of months. The teenager from Cincinnati had become a global sensation. But Speed's rise wasn't just about gaming. He understood something fundamental about modern entertainment. People don't just want content, they want spectacle, they want to feel something. So he gave them everything. He jumped off roofs for challenges, he staged elaborate pranks, he streamed himself meeting celebrities, attending massive events, and engaging in stunts that blurred the line between bravery and recklessness. When he traveled abroad for live tours, crowds of fans mobbed him in the streets. In Norway, police had to intervene. In Southeast Asia, fans chased his car through traffic. He had become more than a streamer. He was a cultural event. The numbers told the story. In 2023, during a live stream, IShowSpeed achieved over 1 million concurrent viewers, a milestone only a handful of creators have ever reached. Brands took notice, awards followed. He was no longer just an internet personality, he was a phenomenon, a case study in how far raw authenticity and relentless energy could take someone in the attention economy. Yet every rise casts a shadow, and Speed's was darker than most. The same unfiltered personality that made him famous also made him vulnerable. Early in his career, inappropriate comments during streams led to bans from platforms like Twitch. The backlash was swift and unforgiving. Critics argued he was immature, irresponsible, and unfit for the influence he wielded. Sponsors distanced themselves, platforms suspended him. For a moment, it seemed his career might collapse under the weight of his own mistakes. But Speed didn't disappear. He apologized, adapted, and pivoted to YouTube, where his channel continued to grow. The controversy, rather than destroying him, became part of his narrative. He was the streamer who had been banned, who had messed up, who had fought his way back. In the age of cancel culture, he became a symbol of resilience, or, depending on who you asked, a cautionary tale of fame without accountability. The pressure of maintaining his persona took its toll in other ways. Streaming at the intensity Speed operates demands a physical and emotional cost few creators are willing to pay. He has suffered injuries during stunts. He has been swatted, a dangerous prank where false reports bring armed police to his home. He has faced doxing, death threats, and the constant invasion of his privacy. The line between his online persona and his real life has all but dissolved, leaving him perpetually exposed to both adoration and cruelty. Psychologically, the impact is harder to measure. Experts in digital culture have pointed to creators like Speed as emblematic of a new kind of celebrity, one built not on carefully curated images, but on constant availability, vulnerability, and the willingness to commodify every emotion. The high-energy screams and reactions that define his streams aren't just performance. They're a lifestyle, a brand, a trap. To stop being chaotic is to stop being Speed. And in an industry where relevance is measured in views, stopping isn't an option. His influence on streaming culture is undeniable. IShowSpeed proved that you don't need expensive equipment, professional editing, or corporate backing to reach millions. You need energy, authenticity, and the courage to be unapologetically yourself, even when that self is flawed. He inspired a generation of young creators who saw in him proof that the internet rewards intensity over polish, personality over perfection. But he also became a cautionary tale about the cost of that intensity, the dangers of fame without structure, and the price of building a brand on chaos. Today, IShowSpeed stands at a crossroads. He is one of the most recognizable faces in streaming, a creator whose name carries weight across continents. Yet the very traits that made him famous, his impulsiveness, his rawness, his refusal to filter, continue to invite controversy. Every stream is a gamble, every stunt is a risk, every moment is both an opportunity and a potential disaster. The story of IShowSpeed is not just about one creator's rise to fame. It's about the new rules of celebrity in the digital age, where authenticity is currency, where controversy is content, and where the line between success and self-destruction is razor-thin. It's about what happens when a teenager with a camera and a dream collides with an internet that rewards extremes, amplifies every mistake, and never forgets. From a bedroom in Cincinnati to stages across the world, Darren Watkins Jr. has lived a life most can't imagine, chaotic, thrilling, and utterly unpredictable. Whether his story ends in triumph or tragedy remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the world is watching. Subscribe for more stories like this.